Buenas. ¿Cómo está la cosa?
We're on cyclone alert. Get the children, collect up all the things you always take with you, and go to the hostel.
Throughout Cuba, citizens and the authorities are on the move. The weekend before the start of the official hurricane season, Cubans are involved in exercises simulating the arrival of a real hurricane to ensure that everyone knows exactly what they should do to save lives. The house where Oscar and his family live is in the old part of La Habana and is particularly vulnerable to infiltration by the sea caused by hurricane-induced storm surges. Local residents charged with the safety of their neighbours check the family know that they should evacuate from their home.
We know how to prepare ourselves because the radio and television tell us exactly what is happening with the hurricane on a daily and on a weekly basis. They give the instructions as to whether we need to get ready, to get all our things, and to leave here for a particular place.
The Caribbean hurricane season runs from June to October, and Cuba is hit by hurricanes regularly. But, unlike many of the neighboring countries, in Cuba, fatalities are usually minimal. Ensuring good early warnings of storms and educating the population on exactly what they should do if a hurricane strikes are among the Cuban government's priorities. The civil defense is responsible for the safety of the population. Made up of a network of both professional soldiers and civilian volunteers, the body works hand in hand with the Met services, which closely monitor weather patterns to issue early warnings of dangers.
Everything starts here. All this information, right at the beginning, is completely coordinated and worked through with the civil defense. They understand the situation fully, whilst at the same time responding and putting into operation their systems to prepare the people, to save life, to preserve homes, everything that they can, because the most important is that life is priceless.
As well as alerting the civil defense, the Met Service also informs the general public of weather patterns. Although Cuba is poor, almost 98% of the country receives TV and radio coverage, and bulletins are transmitted at increasingly frequent intervals with information on the storm's progress. Meanwhile, the civil defense puts into action a well-rehearsed disaster preparedness system where each and every citizen is informed of the situation and knows how to react.
The people trust this system because it has never abandoned anybody, despite the fact that our resources aren't as big as in some other countries that face the same risks. We always try and distribute the resources evenly, so that everyone is assured a space in a safe place when the risk happens.
Designated resident leaders check that neighbors have heard the notice to evacuate. Groups of residents clean their streets of rubbish to keep drains free and minimize flooding from heavy rains or the sea. In the rural areas, animals are herded to higher ground to be safe from flooding from swollen rivers and reservoirs. To guarantee an unbroken supply of fresh food during and after storms, the types of crops planted and the time of planting and harvest are organized around the hurricane season. The banana is a staple of the Cuban diet.
We've organized crop rotation. We have a new technique now with the banana, which is really affected during this season. We plant a banana seed called extra denso, which grows into a plant that's still small during the hurricane season. This keeps the extent to which the plant is affected to a minimum.
This junior school outside La Habana is situated right by the sea and is extremely vulnerable to storm surges. When hurricane warnings are received, each child knows their role. The smallest children practice moving their materials upstairs to avoid damage from flooding by the sea. Throughout the island, children receive instruction on disaster prevention in both their regular curriculum and in special classes organized by the Civil Defense.
What's important is to be in a safe place. Do you understand? And all of us here know that our community is very vulnerable to the sea coming in.
Every child, everyone knows what they have to do. They know where they have to go with their family. The workers know who's going to stay, who's going to be on watch. Everybody knows his or her role.
The children are taught how to respond, both whilst in school and in their homes, to storm warnings.
What we do at home is we collect our things, clothes, shoes, television, and we put them somewhere high. Then we evacuate so that we don't have any disaster or danger.
With the numbers of people affected by disasters worldwide on the increase, the Cubans show how through political will and community preparedness, the impact of hurricanes is reduced. Every Cuban knows his or her responsibility, so lives and livelihoods are saved. Preparing for the onslaught is the best way to prevent disasters on both a human and an economic scale.
Jefe del Departamento de Extinción del Cuerpo de Bomberos, el simulacro ha concluido. Jefe de la tropa, capitán Rodríguez Molina.